Hi, guys. As many of you are joining us today for our first ever virtual Unity Forum, I thought it would be fun to look at some different memes and things that people come across. Some of them that you may have seen and some not. Um, as I told you guys earlier in the week, we wanted to create a time as we conclude this week to um, look at the human side of what we're all going through and to take a couple breaths, um, maybe have a laugh or two, and as we go into the weekend, um, just chill out a little bit because it is. It's been a long week. I'm seeing some of these things for the first time. And I actually have a little bit of good news to share with you. So it's great that it's Friday. I see there's 78 people on, and hopefully people will also be able to join us to check this out when it's because we're going to be recording it. The way I've described this is, this it's a virtual experience of what maybe we're losing without having those water cooler talks. The opportunities to kind of chat at the beginning of the day or throughout the day or over the course of a week with your friends about just stuff that's going on. Stuff with in your lives, stuff, funny things you've seen in the news or shows that you're watching, that sort of thing. And this is going to be our first one, but depending on how it goes, my hope would be that we might continue these every Friday. And right now you see just some of the work that Brett, thank you, and Kevin and Connor and everybody else that helped put this together. But I really want to hear from what you guys will bring. And if we plan on doing this next Friday, then during the course of the week, if you come across something funny that you want to share, then feel free to forward that on, and we'll find a way to integrate it. Of course, if you have any um, uh, recommendations or ideas, I thought it would be kind of cool to maybe have a pandemic corner, a pandemic pantry, where people could say share different recipes, maybe things that you can make with fast food stores um, that some people have. Um, uh, Best practices, people may discover some sort of a great product or a great way to enhance their working experience at home, or something that's going to help them in the new virtual world. There could be a space for that. We're exploring the possibility of doing some online polls that would, uh, get us all together to answer some simple questions and see how we rate with each other, and to just recognize some of the heroics of our staff that are all around. They seem to be scattered so far to the wind now. Everybody's in their homes. Many people are, and some are soon to be working, with quarantine folks. And it's been a hard week. Um, um, I don't know. It might be distracting for me to be talking during these, but it's been a hard week, and we are right now up to 1,678 people have signed our petition. Can you believe that? I wish there was a way to do a collective sort of cheer or snapping of fingers or something, because that's what's missing here for me. Oh, should I share my webcam now? I guess I am. So there I am. Hey, everybody. Um, Thank you for putting that together. That was interesting and kind of fun. Now, we've got a special afternoon scheduled for everybody, and it's an hour. We're going to try to have you out of here in an hour, and out of here, off this experience. Just trying to change the language. You see, my face is smiling right now, a lot more than it was yesterday. and I want to spend a little time talking about call it good news because it's not bad news. I think it's not bad news right now. Is in my opinion good news. So I'm going to go through that, and then we're going to hear from some four of your, provided everything goes right, four of your colleagues that I think have an interesting, a perspective of a slice of their life experience living in this new age of the coronavirus. And so we're going to talk to each of them for a little bit, and then we're going to hopefully have some time at the end to answer questions, or if people have something funny they want to share, or some humorous anecdote of something that they've experienced or seen. It's because our things are changing, around us, and how we look at our world and view ourselves within the world. And I think that one of the most important things we can do as a community is to stay connected, to stay united, and that becomes really hard if you're isolating and you don't have sort of touch points. So I know these experiences haven't been exactly perfect. Oh, by the way, I wanted to anybody else brought a beverage. I'm just gonna. And if I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try to get it on my camera. It says, you got this. It was a gift from Heather and Jen Brophy last year, and I enjoy it very much. So I hope you guys have your beverages. There was one other, the other thing, I don't know where people can see it, but we've got the beginning of a COVID-19 playlist on Spotify. And we want you guys to choose your best songs and add to the list, and maybe we can share the list with others. And some of them are kind of clever, so we'll maybe look at that in a little bit. But first, let me give you some news. Okay, we're gonna stick away from the heavy detail stuff unless I need to. I don't have plans to have Dan Lannon get on this because I really want to hear from some of the other staff. I want to let you know that since we talked yesterday, I'm going to say it again, 1,678 people have signed our petition. Fantastic. It's so awesome compared to the stats. And thank all of you for the emails that you've sent me, letting me know. Some of you have forwarded on emails that you received back from your state senator or state rep. And so we're being heard out there. And I'm not sure exactly how we're going to use this petition, but let's keep it going. I knew we could do 1,000, and we're going to be pushing 2,000. And then the idea is that we may share it with some other agencies. So if you've already shared it with a couple people, but you think you can get a couple more to sign on, please do it. I can't believe how fast the numbers are going up. So since we talked yesterday, Bill Yetz and Bill's done a lot of work, or has begun to do a lot of work in trying to unpack some of the details that have come out from the federal stimulus packages, and the big one that had the final vote today, and we've been looking very carefully at our financials and what some of the things that have been promised to come in. So again, there's so much I don't know 100% because I don't have anything to do, or I don't have any control over the pace at which some of the stimulus money and these programs are going to be coming down. But I can tell you what's being said, and let me start with this. With all of the things that I'm going to talk about just briefly here, I am able to tell you all that we are committing to keep everybody employed for another 2 weeks, full 2 weeks. And that's drivers, that's everybody that does work for this organization. I'm so happy to be able to do that. The fact that I'm rejoicing over promising 2 more solid weeks, unless some catastrophic thing happens. But if we can do this week by week by week, our chances increase of being able to get through this thing, because as more and more of the stimulus stuff comes down, that will assist you all, and it'll assist NuPath in remaining solvent. So I think right now on the line we actually have our one of our loan officer from Cambridge Savings Bank. It's one of our big lenders. We have our bond with them, and Javier Bellini is been working with Bill Yates and is helping us to apply for and expedite our application for the small business loans that you've heard about. We qualify because we're we're just under 500 people. I think it was like one of the counts was, I don't know, 487, or I mean we were close. But because we're under 500, we'll qualify. So that's going to take like 3 weeks or so. They're saying 3 to 4 weeks to fill out the application and for that to get processed, but that's still pretty quick. So if we could just get through this rough patch here, and we still haven't heard anything from the department. Hopefully that's something, because if that's made available to us, then we will really have no problem. I mean, we'll have problems, but not like the kind of laying off kind of problem. So we are. I'm feeling encouraged by that. And thank Javier very much for what he's doing, and Bill for your hard work and in helping us think how we're gonna continue to keep people whole. So that means if you're using sick vacation time, you continue to do that. If you use it all and you go into the hole, we're going to track it all. And as money then becomes available to reimburse or to pay for these weeks that you've heard talk about, and as we understand what processes are, if we're able to bring that money back, if those hours back to you and reimburse you, we will. But right now, we want to keep everybody employed as long as we can without having to furlough or laying off or anything like that. So that's good news. It sounds like, is somebody off mute? I think they were supposed to be. So that's great news, everybody. I mean, that's much better than I thought we were yesterday, and our drivers who are so important. Everybody's important right now, but we didn't want anybody to suffer. So this is what we're committing to do, and let's keep the pressure on. If you're still planning on reaching out to your representatives or senators, many of you have done that now. It's not hard. I think you'll agree with me. And again, if we can continue to get that petition signed, it's so easy to do, and it might benefit in the long run somehow. I just feel like a load's been lifted off my just feel like we've got a little bit of like starting to see a plan of how, by doing lots of different things, how we might be able to do it. And I'm not saying there won't be some sacrifices, but so now we're going to start with our first guest. And each of these people I've asked to join us for a particular reason. It's because I've heard a story, something they shared with me over the past week or so, and I just really, when I hear somebody talking about something that's a little not unusual, but something that I hadn't thought about, like it's like, oh wow, yeah, that would suck. Like if I was dealing with that during this time, that you didn't even think about how much more complicated that would be. And so the first person, and we can bring her up on her video monitor, is Karen Franklin, our Executive Director of Human Resources. Karen's worked with us now for going on 3. I should have that in front of me. Hopefully everybody can see. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. You're in a bedroom, I see. Or room or something. It's so weird, like people in different settings. You know what I mean? You're trying to like look around and see. I was all worried about what do I have in the back, and you just never know. But it looks like a lovely room. So I asked you to join us because you've had well, people know you. Most people know everybody knows you, and but you've had kind of an interesting experience with an adult child moving home with you, or a little earlier than expected. Take a couple of minutes and tell us just what kind of a challenge it's been like. And I hope your child's not, anywhere within earshot if you're going to say anything about what a slob they are. So go ahead, talk to us briefly about what you're doing.
They are in earshot, but what I'm about to say is probably nothing I haven't said out loud. So me and my husband downsized about a year ago, right? We went to a simple house, small yard to make our lives, a little bit simpler. And we were putting the last kid off to college. So we made sure that it was a small house, with that theory of, you don't want the space for them to return. We do have a bedroom, but still small. So we send this child off to school this year, and we get them everything they need, and we get them off. And then lo and behold, about a week ago, she comes home, and it's vacation week. So we're excited, right? We get to see her face, and in comes all her laundry and all her congestion, and we're okay. We got this, right? This is just a week, right? We're used to being here all by ourselves. We weren't those parents that cried, that empty nest syndrome when all of a sudden the house was empty. So as that week goes on, right, what do we learn? We learn that they're not going back to school at all this semester. They are going to have to go back by appointment to get their stuff out of the dorms. We're not prepared for online learning. We don't have a desk. We don't have a spare room. So we're trying to navigate like all these things. How are we going to keep this child home now, right? We don't have food prepared for a child for all this time. And now we don't even know if we're going to get reimbursements from the school, but there's no more going back to school. So there won't be any returning to school till at least September. So we come up with these ideas. All right, well, we'll order a desk, or we'll run to Walmart and we'll get a desk. Well, along with me thinking that I'm going to be the only one needing these things, so did everybody else. So no, there are no desks or desk chairs that you can find out. Then we spend all this time online with Best Buy trying to figure out like what's the best computer to get. My husband orders it online. They go to pick it up last Friday. Well, what do we find out? Oh, I'm sorry, we gave that to a customer who came in. We don't have any more laptops. So then we have to improvise, and now she's working off of a Surface computer. So that's what we have there. So now we have an unfinished basement downstairs that my husband's trying to struggle to get set up in somehow fashion so that this child has a place to do their schooling, because we can't have her attending online classes like this setup while we're trying to sit here and cook in the kitchen. So he's luckily still employed. He's an essential employee. He was relatively new to the organization, so I was really nervous that he might not have the opportunity to work. So he's been working all day, stopping off at Lowe's, which thankfully they're still open, and wiring downstairs electricity, getting it set up. I did find some type of very small desk on Amazon that will be here in about a week. So it's just been a lot of navigating things that we never thought we'd have to navigate. I mean, it's getting scary, right? I'm coming live from New Hampshire. New Hampshire took a little bit longer to do an official shutdown, although most things in New Hampshire have shut down. But now we're shut down through May 4th. So that means that the hair salon, the nail salon, right? All those things that we think we're just going to go to, right? So we're all going to look pretty scary in a couple weeks with no hairdressers, no nail salon. On a more serious note, I did want to say it to all the employees that the HR team is running very efficiently. We're all working hard from home. I've shared with the employees and put out on Paycor all the information about the EAP plan. It's real important that folks get out onto Paycor and have access. If you need access to any one of us, we are available via email, our cell phones are listed out there as well. Going back to the essential employee letters, if you run into anything that you need whatsoever, you can call us, no problem. We're working from home, but we're working well past our normal 8 to 4 hours to support people who are working the night shifts and the overnight shifts. And if they need anything from us whatsoever, really, we mean it sincerely. And we're all up and running and paying attention to everything and wanting to support you however we can. Unprecedented time, but we got this. We have a great CEO who has been doing a phenomenal job keeping us up to date and ensuring this of all of us, because we want everybody to be safe. So anything you need from us. All right.
Fantastic. Thank you, Karen. I think people do feel very supported, and it's just nice to see your smiling face. I miss, you forget about the things you kind of maybe miss that because we don't interact every day, and we don't even see each other every day. But whenever I do, it's just nice to see your face. I'm glad you're doing well. You're not going to kill each other until this whole thing works through, right? Or have any police calls to the house or anything like that. You're going to be all fine there, right? Living together.
I think we're doing all right. We've set chores. I now, and the one benefit of having the child back, right, is I have my runner and my errands. Can you get me this? Text her from,
Oh, yeah.
from the couch to the living room. Can you run downstairs
No,
and get?
she can't do your nails, can she? Because that would be a solution too, right?
She can't do
No.
my nails, but she can do chores and help out around the house. And
Yesterday, I told people about how my mother lost a crowd right here in front. Then yesterday, last night she did for me. She goes, "Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do about my nails because I take her out about once every 3 weeks." And she says, "I've already picked them all off." I'm like, "Well," and I guess people get, barbers. I mean, barbershops probably. I don't have to worry about that. See, who's laughing now, right? Because I don't have to worry about barbers. But I guess that people are probably going to be getting haircuts. I guess unless they learn how to do it themselves.
you want to know what else is? We were encouraging her to get a job, so we wanted her to get settled in school, and then we demanded that she get a part-time job. And now there's no
Yeah.
part-time jobs to have, except for I think grocery stores are hiring. But other than that, she's now been quarantined here for 2 weeks, so I don't want her going out because I know that she's past that 14-day marker. So she didn't bring any germs into the house. So
Yeah.
got to keep her in.
Well, glad you're doing all right. Thanks for all you're doing for us remotely, and good luck to you. This will pass. We know it will. Just just have to get through it, I guess. But appreciate you sharing your story, Karen.
Thank you for having me. We got this, and if anybody needs anything, please call me.
Thank you. We got this. Yes, we do. Okay, thanks very much. All right, next up, we have, it was to be Gretty Moran. She's working at Meredith Road. I don't know if there was a problem with the video feed. I don't know if she's available, Greg, by phone, or if we should move on to Justin.
Yeah, let's just keep moving on, Dan, right now. Thanks.
Okay, we're going to keep moving on. So next up, we will talk to Mr. Justin Belmonte. And Justin, as many of you know, works as a, what's your title? Your manager at, run over at the Martin Center. And by the way, today is Matthew Avery's, I think, officially his last day. Matthew, if you're out there, on this call, I was hoping to talk to you before the end, but we wish you well. But Justin, you and I ran into each other here last week, I think, or was it the beginning of this week? It seems like a dream, like it's a fog. And I don't see you all that often either.
Probably this week.
Okay, I didn't hear that very well, so I just want to make sure you repeat it again.
I think it was the beginning of this week. I remember I was picking up my new credit card from Bill Yates. So.
I see. Okay. And so you have had a very special event that many people you only have probably one time, and that's becoming a father for the first time. And your little boy Luke was born. You told me was it earlier? Was it that day? Was it 3 months officially? His 3 month birthday or 3 months?
This past Sunday on the 22nd, he hit 3 months.
So with that baby, beautiful baby, because I've seen pictures, was born, and you have one handy too, don't you? If you wanted to show everybody, you could, hold it up and show people. But
oh yeah, I got a bunch.
Yeah, do you? Well, get one ready. But when you had this was born, you probably didn't think in 3 months' time you'd be going through this, did you? I'm guessing you didn't plan on this.
No, not at all. Not at all. Before I get started, I can share a beautiful picture.
Oh, he's so cute. Oh, look at those little lips. Oh, he really is cute. Well, you can see he doesn't take after you. Then,
No. Yeah.
So yeah. So kind of things. Can't we imagine what it's like having a brand new baby in the house when all this thing is coming down the pike?
Yeah, I definitely, I think like everybody else did not foresee this happening while bringing a baby or a child home, for the first time and having a little bit of time with him before this all started. That time was, magical. It's been unforgettable and it's been a beautiful experience. And then, dealing with, everything that has happened since then, with this COVID-19 and how it's affected work and how it's affected our social lives and all that. It's it's been interesting. Our grandparent or his grandparents, my mother and father, and my wife's parents haven't been able to visit him. We've been doing some video chats. Trying to maintain, connections and relationships that way. Family members, same thing. Noah can come and visit him. We're just, we're trying to keep him safe, keep him, just safe, I guess, overall. So, but yeah, it's been an experience. Working at the Martin Center, just going into work and having to deal with everything there, and work with staff and make sure that they're feeling secure and they're feeling safe, and then doing everything that needs to be done there, and then coming home and having to reset. And I've heard people tell stories about as soon as they get inside, they're stripping down. That's exactly what I'm doing. I get a bag right near the door. Yeah, I get a bag right near the door. And everything goes into that. My wife throws it right into the washing machine, and I'm washing my hands, I'm washing my face, my beard that I had at the time, which I've since trimmed, as you can tell. Just because, I want to be able to feel a little bit more comfortable in interacting with my son, and if I didn't do that, there would be this invisible barrier. And that would be horrible, but we're doing the best that we can, and praying to God and trying to stay lucky. So that's been the experience.
Your wife, is it Glendy? Is that her name? Your wife?
Yes.
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 She had the baby, then she took maternity leave because she had a big job. Like, what did she do?
Yes.
I mean, I remember going to London,
she's
trips and that sort of thing, like, right?
Yeah. We've traveled quite a bit, in a large part due to her work, which has been great. I've been able to along on some of the trips. She's in sales support for a company based out of Seattle called Smartsheet. They have a large online presence. And right now she's on maternity leave. She's due to go back the second week of April. And right now her office in Boston has been closed. It's been closed for weeks, even before we closed. So things are a little uncertain in terms of what she's going to go back to. So we're just trying to take it one day at a time. So.
Well, I guess everything can be figured out if you keep Luke safe and healthy and not continue. He'll never remember any of this, but what a story about his entry into the world, I guess, huh? You think about it. And
exactly. What
another shows us is that we can have the best laid plans. I'm sure you guys had it all worked out, that your wife's probably going to go back to work, and maybe, this is it just shows that, the number of, think of them, weddings and graduations and all kinds, Christmas, all kinds of things happening, and that have now had to be put on hold. And like I said to my mother, I said, if something happens to you, I was lecturing her about something, trying to go to the bathroom by yourself, or I said, if you die, like, suddenly because of something, I said, how will we even get your funeral? Like, people must not even be able to have funerals, it's just such a bizarre time. There's some things you just can't do virtually, although, I mean, I guess we'll figure it out, how. Well, we just appreciate so much you being there, and, with Matthew, who has been with us for many, many years, and has been a faithful and great, servant of his organization, is going to be leaving. We're fortunate to have you, and I'm sure the staff there are glad that, because I know you're well liked. I was going to say well loved, but I didn't want to push it. Well liked might be better.
Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, I may hear from Kathy Downing or Leslie Linscott or one of them over there that have been texting me, so they'll let me know what they think of you. But well, I appreciate you so much taking the time to check in and talk to us. It's just great to I don't know if people were going to be put off by us having a little, smiles and a few laughs as we go into the end of the day, but we've got to keep balance, and we've got to create these moments for ourselves, even as we're knee deep in uncertainty. So best of luck to you. Please stay safe and keep the little ones
Thank
safe.
you.
And
Yep.
drip down and just take a shower. You should do more than wash your face. Get that shower and take a shower.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
One day at
Give
a
our love to
time.
everybody
One day
there.
at a time.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, Justin. All right, moving on. Originally, we had hoped to do 5 of these, and it looks like we have 3, and there's my Judy. Hi, Judy.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? You look good.
Thank you. Thank you. Boy, those 2 acts are going to be hard to follow.
Oh, Judy, you've got it. Oh, you're going to be perfect.
Yeah.
You're going to be perfect. We know you're the party girl.
This is
You
true.
know, what I'm thinking is you might get up and start dancing. Now, did you bring any beverage, a glass of wine, or this looks like it's like a rum and coke, but it's really not.
I do have my favorite, and it has rum in it. My Coca-Cola.
It has rum in it?
It does. I got the rum.
So it's 5 o'clock someplace, right?
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
You
can't leave the house. You don't have to worry about driving anywhere or getting an Uber anywhere.
That's true. That's true. I wanted to start off by saying that I had secretly wished for a little more time to do some yard work. And I think somehow, somewhere, some wires got crossed. I really do. Yeah, I have a little too much time now to do some yard work. Oh, my goodness. But
you had a special day on March 19th.
Yeah.
And which happened to fall the first week we were closed. We closed on the 16th. The 16th, right? Yeah.
Yeah. On the Monday or Tuesday.
We home. Well, we sent you home. We said you should tell us what was that special day and what kind of an unusual experience you had.
Yeah. Well, I turned 70 on March 20th. And it was.
I still can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't either. I'll tell you the truth. Yeah, I was very much looking forward to it all month. And then when I realized I was going to be home and all by myself, I went, whoa, this is going to be a very strange birthday. And a birthday I'll never forget, and a year I will never forget because of this pandemic. So the day started off very interesting. I got the phone started ringing, and I looked at the phone, and it said John McNally. I have no idea who John McNally is, but I'm curious, so I answer my phone when it rings. So I pick up the phone, and someone goes, "Hello, I have a flower delivery for you." And I went, "Oh my God!" So I assume it's the florist. So I said, okay. So I run downstairs and I open up my front door and I'm looking and there's nobody there. So I said, well, I don't see you. And John says, can you pick up the flowers? I said, well, I'm so confused. I said, well, I would if I could see you. I went, can you see me? I'm here in front of my house. And he went, I'll just call the florist and tell them to come pick them up and deliver them to you. So then I realized this is a neighbor calling me, telling me he has my flowers, and now it's making some sense. So I said, well, okay, I figured that was the most sensible thing to do. So we hang up. So now I'm thinking, well, how did he get my not my name so much, but my number? But either way, he did, and I hope I get my flowers. So I wait about a half an hour. That's about as I get a little impatient. So I redial him back and say, so John, this is Judy, the birthday girl. How did you make out with the flowers? And the flower shop. And he said, they're going to pick them up and re-deliver. And I said, okay. Within me hanging up, within 5 minutes, my son yelled up and said, you have flowers down here. So I went downstairs, received my flowers, and they were from a friend of mine. So I said, oh, wow, that's great. So that was starting to brighten my day. I just thought that was a clever thing. Somebody thought, well, I can't see her. What can I do to make her birthday special? Sent flowers. So then about 1 o'clock that afternoon, I got a call from my oldest son, Michael. And this was the second phone call of the day, which I thought was a little odd, but it was my birthday. So I'm saying, oh, that's why he's calling again. So he says, Ma, how you doing? I said, good, Mike. It's quiet, but I'm okay. At least the sun is shining. It's a nice day. So he says, can you do me a favor and go downstairs, go out front? I said, okay. So I walk and I go out front. He said, do you see anything on the stoop? And I said, no. And I'm thinking about the problem with the early flower delivery. So I says, why, Michael? He says, well, I'm kind of aggravated because this spoils the surprise. Flowers were supposed to be delivered to you from Mahoney's, which was a different flower shop than the Morning Fiasco. That was Stoneham Florist. And he said, they told me they delivered them at 11 o'clock to your house. I said, well, Michael, I'm out here on the stoop. There's no flowers. And I'm looking across the street at all the houses, which are kind of far apart. And there's no flowers over there either. And I said, I'm so sorry, Michael, but they're not here. So he says, well, I'll call Mahoney's. So he calls Mahoney's. He called back. He said, no, they said they delivered them to an apartment building across the street. I said, that's odd, because other flowers from another florist shop were across the street this morning as well. So he said, well, they're gonna make them up and deliver them again. I said, okay. So now it gets on to be almost 4 o'clock, and my doorbell rings, and I go downstairs. There's a very nice man. He said, I'm so sorry about your misdelivery. I'm not the driver who did that. He said, but I want to wish you a happy birthday. He was so sweet. And I said, oh, thank you so much. The flowers were beautiful. So I take them in, I snap a picture, I send it to Michael, who I know is quite annoyed, and I don't blame him. Across the street is number 80, and it's a big apartment building, and I'm a single family house, and I've got numbers all over the place. So Michael was happy, the flowers came, they were beautiful. So now the day starts to quiet down. I did receive some phone calls, and then at 8 o'clock at night, I'm really winding down, and the doorbell rings, and I go running. I open up the window and look down, and I see a young lady holding a heavy vase of flowers. So I go running downstairs, and I open the door, and she goes, these got delivered to me across the street. And I went, oh my goodness. I didn't say any more except that thank you so much. And you know me, I put my hand out to shake her hand. She looked at me like I had 12 heads. She gave me the flowers and gave me a card. And I said, and she turned and walked away quickly. And I said, thank you so much. It's my birthday. So,
Oh my God.
now, so instead of starting off the day with it was going to be so quiet, no, how can people remember? I got 3 beautiful bouquets of flowers. I can't believe that she waited till 8 o'clock.
And you were like granted all day too, so you were hardly bored trying to figure all that out. I just thought I didn't give you flowers because that would have just like thrown it all out the window.
Yeah, because they would have been across the street. I don't know what is going on with across the street. But the other thing is, my coworkers, the cutest thing, I think I told you, Lisa LaRock she rocks. She got all that she could together in the lobby. I think she measured the distance of everyone and put them 6 feet apart and had them standing in the lobby up the stairs with balloons and taped them singing happy birthday and sent it to me on the phone. I cracked up.
That's what I wanted you. I wanted to make sure you told that. I was wondering if when we finish talking in just a minute, if you could send that, if you would feel comfortable sending that video clip to maybe Greg, and maybe he could see about maybe sharing a link if people want to see it. Would you share it with?
Oh, of course I would. I would love to. I would
Yeah.
love to. Yeah.
Any kind of fun.
It was just very
Judy,
thoughtful. Very thoughtful.
I've known you for 17, 18
Uh,
years, and
oh yeah.
we've been colleagues and you know, friends for all that time. And you know, when you were realizing the ramifications or the COVID was more it could be more threatening for people over the age of
hmm
60, and
Yeah.
you know, you and I together made the decision that we, even before other staff had really been to relegate to their homes, we decided that that was something you were going to commit to, and because you're just too important to this organization, and you said to me, I don't know, I just, you're always somebody that wants to feel like you're valued, that you're doing something useful, and so I know this has been hard for you too, to like do what is the right thing, because we couldn't bear it if something happened to you, and I know you're a beloved, well, I love the hell out of you, and I know many people do, and you bring just an energy and a zest, and you're the first person out on the dance floor at the holiday parties, and people just adore you. So happy
Thank you.
70th birthday,
Thank you. Thank you so
and
much.
sorry
You,
with us,
I mean, we
but
talked a little bit about it. You know, I don't want to get emotional, but I have not been prepared for the feelings that I've been feeling. You know, and fear. It
yeah,
certainly is one. And I think I talked to you about this earlier. I really have stopped watching the news on TV because it is very frightening. And I've chosen to get my information from you because I realized after your first like two webinars that you were very accurately um, telling us what the governor was saying and where, and you were bringing us up to date very accurately. And I don't know why, coming from you, just calmer. So that's where I've been choosing to get my news. So I don't have a headache anymore. But yeah,
Judy,
I'm just
we're
glad to
glad
be.
you don't have a headache. I try to get you. I'm going to try to always provide you with accurate information. There's so much disinformation that gets spread about here now. We know, and you know, we miss you, and I feel a
Yeah,
little bit better than I was yesterday when we talked. So that should put a smile on your face. And I don't think you like it when I'm not smiling. And take care of yourself, right? If you need anything, let us know. You know,
yeah.
you've got a million friends here that would be more than happy to do anything you needed to do. I know I would. So maybe not a
Thank you
million.
so
That might.
much. I just
So
totally clicked. I just totally clicked a button and lost our pictures. Just again, thank you for everything, and I miss everybody so much, and I want everybody to stay safe.
we miss you too, Judy. Don't forget to send that clip, and we'll see if Greg can put it someplace. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I will.
Okay, love you lots. Hey, say hi to everybody, Dale, Holly, everybody, you know, Michael, and
Thank you. I
people
will.
that you. Okay, bye bye.
Thank you.
Love you,
Bye.
Judy. I feel better. It's good to see them. We the other person that we had on tap, and it must not have worked out, but Greta Moran was going to be talking to us. She's been working during the day shift. She's gone to Meredith Road, Meredith Road to help out. And Brian was telling me from Westford that other staff that aren't assigned to programs have been driving around, delivering supplies, things to decorate eggs with, things to try to keep people, you know, engaged in the houses and trying to think creatively. And so I thought it'd be fun to talk to her. But and then we were going to talk to. We thought we would talk to Bessie from Linfield, Salem Street, and oh boy, I know she runs two programs. We all love Bessie, but that didn't work out either in short notice. But there's next Friday, and if you've got people that you want to hear from, if there are staff that you'd like to have come on board and you know, and participate, just so we can check in and see some faces that we haven't seen for a while, or that you'd like to know how they're doing, make that suggestion, let us know, and we'll see what we can do. I feel better, I really do, and and I am glad that this week is winding to a halt, although we're going to still have a group of just fiercely loyal and dedicated staff that are going to be supervising some people that are ill this weekend and going into next week. And Sharon Pitts, who, of course, I don't think she's had a day off in weeks. So again, if you see Sharon, if you see Dan Lannon, if you see any of the people, I know that Matt Johnson and his team have just been extraordinary help. People are just going above and beyond the call of duty. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of us for doing this. And it's kind of cool. We'll see what people think about the experience. But happy birthday, Judy. That was nice. Greg, are there any questions that we were trying to save the last 10 or 15 minutes for other people, maybe if they have something they want to say, or a best practice, or some cool thing that they wanted to share with people, and we could practice what it would be like to get them up here. I'd love to hear from them.
Yeah, no, there's no real specific questions, just an overwhelming response of happy birthday wishes and love for Judy, and those just came pouring in, as well as well wishes for Justin and Karen as well. Just talking about how great they are and what a magnificent job everybody is doing at this point.
Yeah. Good. Is there anybody out there that has a particular idea or experience that you'd like to share? Or did we already talk about the play? Hey, I already mentioned the playlist, right, Greg? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know where people
with the group in the chat. That link is there for the
Oh yeah, so the link. So did Greg send you that? So I think some of the songs are funny. And mine's not up there yet. The hush, there's a kind of hush all over the world tonight. Okay, that's gonna stop right now on that. But get the idea. So let's build this playlist, and maybe in the future, when we have people gathering and waiting for one of our forums to start, we can regale them with our wonderful music taste and selection of songs. Is Dan Lannon on this call? I shouldn't put him on the spot because he's got so much going on. I know that I didn't want to, kind of tie him down, but I didn't know if he had any wishes, mention anything that would be important for staff to know, or and probably not without some advance warning, or Sharon Pitts. We are continuing to refine the plans for the one person that's tested positive being removed from the house, and especially when we get to the second and third and so on. Agencies are doing all different kinds of things. Other organizations, one of our sister organizations said that they were telling staff that they just were going to keep people in the home. I think we were very worried that it'd be very hard to protect people that were not yet diagnosed as positive. So, how to care for them in another space. And those are some of the details, sort of boots on the ground kinds of things that have been happening this week. I guess the other thing I did mention in my earlier introduction, the other thing that most of you will be expecting is up to a $1,200 deposit, or probably direct deposit into your accounts. If the IRS has your routing information, if you did direct deposit from filing your taxes, if they've got access to that, it will happen faster. We're being told that it will be getting to people within 3 weeks or so. So that's hopefully going to help somewhat. And like I said, we're just when we hear organizations like all over the place, putting people to furlough and some of the other things, laying people off. I honestly am so happy that we were able to do this for the next 2 weeks, and we'll know more, as we go on, because as we fill out the application for the small business loan and find out what the details of that are. I told you yesterday, guys, that I I'm not going to rest until I can figure this out, till we can figure this out. And every time I think about something that seems sort of extreme, like I think, is that going overboard? But then I think, what would I not do to try to protect this organization and protect these staff? Like, what if I knew something? I said this to Bill earlier today. If I knew something just increased our chances by 5% of being able to weather this thing intact, I do it. Unless it was some illegal or grossly, immorally corrupt thing to do. But I care so much about the integrity of the solvency and the community that we've built. We've worked so hard over these past 7 or 8 years and really built something to be proud of on core values that mean something to our community and our people. And we're not perfect. I'm sure not perfect. I make mistakes all the time, and it's hard to talk on live video and not say something dumb or get it wrong sometimes. But really want to appreciate you guys being patient with me. And sorry if yesterday I was a gloomy Gus. I was just feeling a little bit a little tense, but feeling much better today. See, you can see how I'm feeling. And it's Friday, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend. And if nobody else has anything else they want to say, I want to just end by thanking our panelists again for joining us. I look forward to seeing you all next Friday. Please, please, please have a safe and healthy weekend. Don't go out unless you have to. And to all of our staff that are working programs and our teams that are coordinated care for sick people and people that may be getting sicker, we're behind you 100%. We are in this together. We are united. And together, we can do anything. And together, we got this. So, thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll talk next Tuesday when we check in for our what's becoming our regular family and staff committee forum. And keep the petition going. What can we get you? 5,000? Do you think we can get to 5,000? Let's see what we can do. And let's make sure voices are heard. Thank you, guys. It's a great way to end the week. All right, it is 2:57. We're going to end 3 minutes early, and God bless you all. Okay, bye-bye.